Now this is a story all about how my life got flipped, turned upside down, and I'd like to take a minute, just sit right there. I'll tell you how I got invited to cover Crispifest. In Boiling Springs, right off Highway 9, at New Groove is where I spent most of my time, chilling out, maxing, relaxing, all cool and all, shooting some b-ball outside of the school. When a couple of guys who were up to no good started brewing beer in the neighborhood. They had one too many, and Beer Me GVL got fright. He said, "Take your butt back to Columbia tonight." I whistled for a cab, but when it came near, the license plate was fresh, had anime in the mirror. If anything, I could say that this cab was rare, but thought, nah, forget it, you're home, so New Groove. I pulled up to the house about 10 a.m., and I yelled to the cab, "You home, smell you later." I looked at the brewery, I was finally there to sit on my throne as the Prince of Crispifest.
Back with more from Crispifest right here, Nutmeg 2 Palmetto. Arnie, the owner of Outside Influence. Joel, the brewer of Outside Influence. So we've got some cheers. We got some different colors here.
Yep.
So obviously, Crispi season is upon us. It's the summer. It's a solid 83 degrees right now.
Balmy.
Balmy. So how do you guys? How does your beer stack up to this hotter summer South Carolina southern weather?
I would say
You can
this is the Tamave, our dark Czech lager. It's coffee, it's roasty, but it is still light and crisp on the palate. So it's not like it's a year-round brown, right? But our other ones,
Yeah,
Joel does an amazing job.
so we brew a lot of German, Czech style lagers, a lot of international lagers, continental lagers, that type thing. And I feel like it's really well suited to summer season. You know, we make a lot of crispy yellow fizzy beers, as people like to call them. But to me, that's my favorite.
How do you sell a dark beer? Now, I'm someone that's hashtag EverySeasonisStoutSeason.
Sure.
But how do you sell a darker lager to the crowd that walks in?
A sample.
It's beaming hot out,
Yep.
and it's like, I just want a light crushable beer. How do you sell something like this to
A
them?
sample. You just give them a sample. And it's like, oh, yes, please. I'll
That's a
have
lot.
one of those.
Yeah.
It's pretty easy, actually. Yeah. So like we've had great success with a porter that's been on tap. But with this, it's like you hit that lager season and you also hit that dark fan, like the guy that wants a little bit darker beer. And it just works out really well.
Now you're out here at New Groove. They've been here for a little while. You guys are kind of still new kids on the block a little
Sure.
bit. On the
That's a
scene.
great way to say it.
Yeah. So how expand on the relationship between the other breweries in the area as far as getting your name out there and
That's a great story.
selling up the relationship between the other breweries
We've been
in the
friends-
upstate in South Carolina.
We've been friends with these guys for years. They were actually the president and vice president of our homebrew club.
Okay.
And then when they stepped down to open this, Joel and I took over as president and vice president of the homebrew club. So we have known these guys since
Forever. Yeah, but so it's
have
been super easy. We've known like pretty much every one of the Spartanburg breweries for a long time. I'm a Spartanburg native. I started going to Rockers when they were doing a tour and taste back in 2006, 2007, something like that. So it's really been easy. Everybody's super welcoming and they want to see you succeed. So it's hard not to succeed in that arena.
That's right.
And as far as community is concerned, Chesnee is up towards the border a little bit. It's a little bit of an untapped area.
It is. Yep.
You have Peach City, who's also here today. They're up in Gaffney. You have New Groove, who's technically in North Carolina, or right over the border. Newgrass. I'm sorry, Newgrass. I know all of them. Why? Anyway, but it's a little bit of an untapped territory as far as breweries are concerned.
Right.
So how do you keep that relationship going as far as expanding your brand in an area that people don't necessarily rush to for craft beer?
It's a learning curve. We do a Carolina Common, which was a lager that we absolutely sold out of in a week and a half. But the local, they're looking for those lagers. They're looking for easy drinking beers. And Joel's a genius. So it fit, it hit, and it keeps people coming back.
Yeah.
So now we're like, oh, well, you're out of the Carolina Common. What do you have? So they're expanding their horizons when it comes to craft beer. Whereas before it was Budweiser, right?
Yeah, so you know those people. A lot of people buy their beer at a grocery store. Right. What do you offer that segment that's still a craft beer? Well, I'm really big on European style lagers, really heavy in German beers. Those work perfectly. Like there's no reason why people that are used to drinking a grocery store beer can't have a really high-end German lager and appreciate it in the same respect. Yeah.
And get it in a cool space they can hang out in.
Yeah. Joel, to that point, how much freedom does Arnie give you? The clientele wants the easy crushable beers.
All of it.
How much freedom does he give you to like kind of expand
all of
beer
it
styles?
All of it. So I don't make a lot of like what I like to do is take a style that's very familiar to a particular region of the world and just offer that. So in southern Germany it's Helles, so I'm going to bring a Helles to these people. So in England they have the British mild, I'm going to offer that to these people. So Czech lagers, that kind of thing. It's just, you don't really have to think too far outside the bounds of, well, in these countries everyone drinks that beer. And if everyone in that country can enjoy that beer, there's zero reason why that people of our area can't enjoy that beer as well. So it's honestly, it's pretty easy. You know, you know your audience, you work with what they give you. Really,
we've known each other for years. I gave him a key. I'm like,
you let yourself in when you want to.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, I mean, it's been free range. He gives me some suggestions of beers he would like to have, and then we just go from there. So.
I will say this dark lager, this is a style that's very, very appealing to me, and this is a lot more like softer than the ones I've had in the past. It doesn't have that harsh maltiness, that harsh grain bill, harsh bitterness, that sort of thing. It's like very smooth. It's almost like drinking a dark Mexican lager.
Yeah, but it's still a 6% beer, right? You know, and that's what you have to keep in mind is like, just because something is a bigger beer doesn't mean it's not approachable.
Right.
Yeah. So it's Crispifest. Crispifest, obviously, crushable lager, pilsner. So what you bring today, and why did they fit into the theme of today?
Because we're new, we really just wanted to showcase what we can do. We wanted to show what Joel's talents are. No, what we do as a brewery.
What we're capable of.
Yeah, what we can do, and we're very small batch, so we made 3 completely different beers just to kind of encapsulate that.
Yeah,
see the range, right?
You know, we offered the Japanese lager today. It's got like lemon. It's heavily riced. And there's a lot of aromatics to it. So that's on the far end of the spectrum. Then we have our Mexican lager. I like to view that as like a middle of the road beer. So everybody loves, you know, a Dos Equis, Corona, that type of thing. There's no reason why you shouldn't offer those beers. And then on the Czech dark lager, it's like, yeah, that may be dark, really easy to drink. You know, so, and that's kind of where we like to live. So really easy to drink beers that everybody can be happy about.
Arnie did pour that rice lager for me, and aromatic is the key word.
That's
it was
exactly
super, super strong, and all the aromatics sound like it. This smells familiar. What is this? And I kind of thought like, okay, it must be like the basmati rice or jasmine rice or something like that, because it was something so familiar to me.
Yeah, both of those are in there. You know, we use various rice varieties for that, and if you really like that floral rice, that's what this beer offers.
How easy or hard is it to get, whether aroma or flavor or both, how easy or hard is it to get that out of a beer that has a base of rice?
That's a loaded question.
Yeah, it's particular. So you have to play with the ingredients that you have, right? So at hand, we know that these rice capture this type of floral atmosphere, and the way to bring it out. So with rice, you have to actually cook it before you're able to brew with it. So
No raw rice.
Yeah, you can't use raw rice. Like, you're not going to extract anything. So you cook it for a specified period of time at a specified temperature, and you really volatilize those aromatics. Hopefully you don't volatilize them until they're poured into your glass, right? So you're trying to capture them. You want that to come through. And it's not easy. And but the Japanese and the people that brew with rice a lot, they really understand that. And for me, as someone who's trying to figure that out, it's a challenge, and everybody loves a challenge, right?
That's right.
So it's just kind of a lot of fun, especially in this arena.
Yeah. Being that you're newer on the scene, what are your flagships to get the clientele to come out?
Boy, that's an easy one.
We didn't want one, we didn't have one, we didn't want one, but the Carolina Common just blew up because it's an easy to drink lager, and everybody, I mean, the week and a half we blew it, and people are still asking for it today, going, yeah, we brewed it, but it takes time. You can't just...
Yeah, it's a
typical lager. Do people not understand lagering?
That's right.
Well, you know, there's the California Common, which is a lager beer, and then there's a Kentucky Common, which uses corn and 6-row malt, and we kind of wanted to bridge that gap. I really love the California Common style, and I think there's a lot of attributes to Kentucky Common that we carry really well, and I just kind of, you know, we married the two and said, all right, this is our take on it, and it's by far been the people's choice. They absolutely love that beer.
Gentlemen, thank you for joining me. What is the final word you want to get out for Outside Influence Brewing?
Come see us. Not too soon till we make more beer, because we keep running out.
To finish up, you know, I think if you really enjoy light, drinkable, crushable beers, and even if you like some of the darker stuff and some of the further IPA type things, that's what we're always going to offer.
So we've got 13 taps, and there's something for everybody, including a one cider that we carry. So there is something for everybody.
Cool cider that you brewed.
Well,
right,
we're not. So we don't brew a cider. We buy it.
11 of our own. We did a collaboration with New Group that we have on tap, and we do a cider. So 11 are ours, and they're, you know, across the board. We carry everything.
Yep.
Awesome. Cheers, gentlemen.
Cheers.
Thanks for coming on the channel, and look forward to getting up to Chesnee sometime to try your stuff.
Absolutely.
Come see us.
We will see you soon.